Welcome to Up to the Minute. Boy, it's a Thursday. It's a wacky Thursday. Yesterday was Wacky Wednesday. Today it just continues. Crazy things going on today, but we're glad to have you with us. We've got your HCC news and information for the next half hour or so. Some special guests coming up. But first, I want to welcome back Brittany Pacheco. She had an unexpected day off yesterday because of a power outage.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it though. Just saying, not mad about it. I'm glad to be back, of course. Is it just me, or is it a little bit colder than maybe what we all may have expected? Because my fingers are cold right now, like cold, people, cold. So make sure you bundle up before you go outside. I know one of our guests is outside braving this weather. She's all bundled up. Looks like she's got some Starbucks too, a little jealous. But before we get into today's show, I do want to, Todd's holding out for Starbucks as well. Before we get into today's show, I do want to remind everyone to follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Don't forget about our YouTube channel, where you can watch all the past episodes of Up to the Minute, as well as other videos produced by our very own HCCTV. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be the first to find out the latest upload. Last but not least, please share this podcast. Share it to your personal Facebook page. That way others can see this, so we can grow our audience. But more importantly, just so that they can see this information we have to share. So Todd, let's get into this morning's Up to the Minute.
That's right. And I've got news about coffee in a little while. So remind me before the show's over to update you on the status of that, because it's very exciting. All right. So let's get on with the show, as they say. We want to welcome, first off, Lauren Wappler. She's the manager of public relations at the Houston Zoo. Good morning to you, Lauren.
Good morning, Todd. Good to be here.
Great to have you with us. We're going to talk with you shortly. I know you're all bundled up. Good to see you bundled up. If you could stay warm, drink some coffee for a few more minutes, and we're going to check in with you shortly.
Sounds great. See y'all soon.
All right. Thank you. We want to start first with Ronald Esposito. He is the program coordinator, Paralegal Technology Program here at Houston Community College with the Business Center of Excellence. Good morning to you, Ronald. How are you? If we can get you to unmute your mic. I think your mic's still muted. Let's get that.
Good morning, Todd. I'm fine. Thank you.
We want to thank you for being here. And throughout the week, we always try to highlight some of our programs through our centers of excellence. Let's talk about the paralegal program.
Okay.
Obviously, someone who may be interested in getting into law, would this be a good step for them to see if they could get their feet wet and possibly get some employment along the way?
Well, it's a very good step for getting into law. If you mean becoming a lawyer, it's a good prerequisite. There are no particular demanded prerequisites for going to law school, but it is certainly a good one because it lays out the foundation in law school. But most of the time for my students, they want to either be a legal assistant or a paralegal, which is basically the same thing. One has more experience in it than the other, but it prepares them to be a paralegal. And what my students don't know or don't understand sometimes until they get into the program is they don't just have to look to law firms to work for. Being a paralegal, most every large corporation in Houston has a legal department. Most small businesses that are, say, over 40 employees have legal departments. So there's a lot of opportunities in getting this type of degree to work at businesses and for attorneys.
So it sounds like the jobs are out there. Let's talk about the training and the programs and certifications. Do you have short-term certifications? Is it a 2-year program? How does your course load work with the students?
All right, so it works several ways. We have some certificates because some students don't want to go and get the degree because that means taking some academic classes. We have a 5-class certificate, which will give you the basics of being an office clerk and working in a law office. We have a legal assistant certificate, which is 10 classes, and that allows people basically to work as a paralegal, but without the degree that HCC can furnish. You'll just have the certificate. And of course, we have our 2-year 60 semester hour, which means 20 classes. And that includes academic and paralegal, and they can get an AAS degree, which the best of all is transferable to U of H downtown.
And that's a partnership, I imagine, we have with U of H, UHD. And for that one, what are the job prospects like if you do decide to go into the 4-year program?
Well, if you do that, it opens up the larger firms in Houston, which generally require that you have a 4-year degree. Plus some of the larger corporations like Exxon and Shell, they require 4-year degrees usually, not all the time, but usually. It really depends on your experience and your resume. But when you pick up that 4-year degree, you then can open up these much larger business opportunities for employment. Also, that'll give you the ability to go to law school if you want it.
You guys, are any of your programs tied in with workforce solutions? I know that's something that a lot of Houstonians are working with right now because they may be looking to coming out of a job or maybe been laid off and they're going through workforce solutions.
Yes, in fact, 2 of our programs in the Business Center of Excellence are recognized and using workforce solutions. My program is one of them, and it allows for payment of tuition and for books. And I have a lot of students that are going through workforce solutions and getting those credits and ultimately getting the degree.
And how long does it take to complete the certifications? I know you briefly touched on that a moment ago, but you mentioned something about 20 classes over a 2-year period. How long hour-wise do you have to get these certificates?
Okay, well, the 5-class certificate hour-wise is 5 classes. You can do that in 1 semester if you can take the 5 classes. Sometimes one of the classes is not available, so you could pick that up in the summer. So the 5-class certificate you could do in 6 months, the 10-class in 1 year, and then of course the AAS degree takes right at 2 years to do, because included in that is a co-op where they actually go in and work at a law office or some type of business in order to get credit for their cooperative.
And let's talk about the online aspect of these degrees and certificates. I know HCC, obviously, life's changed for all of us since last March. All of your programs, are they available completely online for those who may want to keep working and try to get these certifications?
They are available online. Now, that just became evident with COVID. Before, I had no online classes. All mine were in person because I have attorneys teaching my classes and they all have doctorates. So it was felt that they would go to waste if we were requiring attorneys to teach if we taught them online. And the students in my program are a little older anyway. They're not normally 18, 19-year-olds. They're a little older than that, and they don't like the online format. But since COVID, all of my classes are online. The only 2 that have issues that are not necessarily online are my cooperatives. And that, of course, is where they have to go into a law office and work. And of course, they don't do that remotely usually. They actually go into an office and complete that, and unless they don't want to. If they don't want to, we can make accommodations and work around that.
Well, I was going to ask you about that next, about helping students find employment or internships with law offices. It sounds like you guys hit the ground running with that because many of your students are working in law offices as part of their course load.
Yes, I talk to them about that when they go through the cooperative. We talk about either getting a job where I can put them or telling them how to go about applying and getting jobs. One of the main things that I tell students is, look, just go to a temporary agency and tell them you want to work at a law office downtown or in the Galleria, and then you're guaranteed at least to be placed within the profession. And that's one good way of getting a job. So yeah, we try to counsel all of our students about the jobs. And if you look in the want ads, there's attorneys that post every day. There's a large turnover in paralegal. People are moving up constantly into better jobs, more money. And at the bottom, there's a lot of that. The only trouble students complain about sometimes is, well, they won't hire me because I don't have experience. And I say, well, you're not going to start as a paralegal. You may have to start as a receptionist or an office clerk. That's why we start that in the program and get you going. And then after a while, you can go to employment as a paralegal or a legal assistant.
You mentioned that most of your students are older. Are a lot of your students coming out of one career, looking for another career, may have been laid off? Would this be a good possibility? Right now in the Houston area, I know a lot of people have been laid off from the oil field industry. Mm-hmm. And many of those jobs, unfortunately, aren't coming back. Would this be something to pick up where you're not guaranteed employment, but you have great prospects and future growth?
In fact, yes. I've got some from the medical field that are scared of the medical field and want to get out of that. That's not predominant though. Predominantly, it's from it's people that are older, that have raised their kids, and now want to make a profession that has jobs available. People coming from jobs that are not so prevalent in the community anymore. Yeah, they're coming from all areas. They just have to realize that this job is going to require some computer skills, and if they're willing to do that, then they can get a job in this profession.
And you mentioned earlier, a good number of your teachers are attorneys as well.
All of them. They're all practicing attorneys.
So they're going to get that firsthand experience and knowledge from that only an attorney can provide to them.
Actually, the students love it because actually they get war stories, and they love those stories.
Those are good. Yeah. Attorneys always have great war stories.
Oh, yeah.
Ronald Esposito, we appreciate you joining us and telling us about the Paralegal Program. Folks, if you're looking to pick on, maybe you need to take an idea at looking at a second career, or your job now is a dead-end job and you want future growth, the Paralegal Program here at HCC is certainly something to consider. Ronald, we're going to put a post in this show, the link to your program so people can explore it as well.
All right. I thank you very much, Todd, for having me on.
Thanks for being here. Stay safe.
All right. Thank you.
So we're going to head on out to the Houston Zoo. I know Brittany's excited about this. We've got Lauren. And Lauren, you guys do something every year. You do the Zoo Lights. And that's a huge event for you at the zoo. How are things looking and shaping up for this year?
This year, so we're still having zoo lights, even amongst the pandemic. But this year we are taking things a little more safely, being precautious to ensure everyone does have a safe, nice visit to zoo lights. So I'll just jump right into kind of what we're doing this year to keep our guests safe.
Yeah.
This year we've got our time tickets. So everyone has to purchase tickets online, similar to our daytime, which is going on right now. So you've got 30-minute increments that you can arrive, which means you can still enjoy the zoo lights for as long as you like. But that allows folks to come in at separate times, socially distanced while they're here. Again, purchasing those only online, so no tickets sold at the gate this year. Our staff is also cleaning and disinfecting throughout the day. And of course, masks are required. Actually proper face coverings, covering your nose and your mouth for everyone 10 years and older. So, we really want to make sure people can enjoy the holidays, but, keep everybody safe.
Tell us exactly, I've been to the zoo. I'm very familiar with the zoo. Tell us exactly where you are, and maybe you can show a little bit of the surroundings where you are, because I see some lights behind you. Yeah,
so right now we are in the Enchanted Forest. So this is an area that just overloads you with lights. You walk through a winding trail. You're going to see lights like behind me. With the rain yesterday, we've got some areas that are a little tricky, but we'll try to take you through a little walk through the Enchanted Forest. And so I'm going to walk backwards, and my
Cool.
friend here is going to come with me.
All right.
This year, though, we have dragons. So we had dragons for the summertime, and we thought, it's COVID. Let's keep the magic going even more so. So we're going to have dragons here in the Enchanted Forest for our guests to see. Never been at zoo lights before. So we've got lots of beautiful, colorful lights. You can get hot chocolate and coffee while you're here. So you can enjoy sights, sounds, and the taste of the season. First here, we've got one of our dragons to my right, to your left, that you'll be able to see while you're here. Don't ask me what
cool.
it's called, because
go.
it's a crate. Yeah, so these guys are going to be lit up at night, really cool. So they're going to be really spectacular once the sun goes down and the event starts.
Now, are the dragons part of the zoo lights, or will they be on display after? How does that work?
So they've been here since the summer. So they will only be here through zoo lights, and then that's your last chance to be able to see them for the year.
And you also have, for what I understand, a zebra around there, the zoo lights zebra as well?
Yes, so Candy, the zoo light zebra, is here again this year. She's very interactive. She loves to sing Christmas carols and talk to all of our zoo guests, kids and adults alike. She comes down every year for zoo lights, and then once zoo lights is over, after January 10th, she heads back up to the North Pole with Santa and the rest of her Candy zebra friends.
Awesome. And also, I wanted to ask you about some of the new things you have going on at the zoo. I know there's a new exhibit happening. Tell us a little bit about that involving, is it South America?
Yes. So we work with a lot of conservation partners down in South America in an area called the Pantanal. Pantanal in Portuguese means wetland. So it is the largest wetland in the world. And it is home to the most amazing wildlife, the largest concentration of wildlife. So we really wanted to bring that part of the world here to Houston for our guests to experience and see firsthand all the wonderful work we're doing to save those animals in the wild. So you're going to see giant river otters. You're going to get nose to nose with these guys. They're swimming underwater. They're eating their fish on land. They're so cute, so interactive. They are my favorite animal now at the Houston Zoo.
I've seen them on Animal Planet before. They are some cool animals. They really are.
Yeah.
Because here we think otters, we think of small, but these are like big dogs. They're, from what I understand, they're pretty large, right?
They are huge. They can grow up to be like 5-6 feet in length. Yeah. They are the largest freshwater otter on the planet. And like their paws, I mean, they're like as big as our hands, it seems like. They're just massive. They look so cute and cuddly. And when you start seeing them rip into their fish meals, they look a little not so friendly after all.
Yeah.
They get a little vicious.
They can be a little intimidating, but boy, they are incredible animals. Like I said, I saw them first. Love to see them in person. So that's one thing. And is that going to be that's a permanent thing that's at the Houston Zoo right now, right?
Yes. So this is permanent. It's part of our 100-year celebration leading up to our centennial in 2022. We opened in 1922. Yeah. This has been the second major opening. Texas Wetlands opened in 2019. This year, 2020, was the Pantanal. So even despite the pandemic, we were able to charge on and complete the renovation. Opened it just in October. So it's almost 2 months since it's been open. And besides river otters, you're going to see howler monkeys. You're going to see bright, colorful birds like the macaws. We've got the jaguar that you can see walk over your head on his cool walking bridge.
Yeah.
It's one of the coolest things I've seen here at the zoo. And I've been here for about 7.5 years. And this new South American Pantanal exhibit is my favorite thing we have ever done. And just really excited to share it with our Houstonians and those coming to visit our city throughout the year.
Absolutely. One thing, when my news days, we used to go out there to the zoo, and around this time of year when it was starting getting cold, we do a story on the animals and how they keep warm. I know you guys have specific ways because many of these animals aren't used to cold weather, but y'all have unique ways of keeping them warm during this time.
You're right. Yep. So days, especially like today, where it's a little chillier than we're normally used to, our animals will either have their night houses open, so they've got heat lamps inside, so they can stay warm, in their hay beds if they'd like. So they were given that access. So they don't have to stay out in the cold if they don't want to. You're probably going to find some of our big cats nestled up in the bushes and trees within their exhibits. So I always tell guests, it makes it more of a fun hide and seek game to see who you can find, who's bundled up. But yeah, those night houses really come into play. Some animals like chimpanzees get blankets. They love to wrap up in a blanket and their little hammocks and their trees out in their exhibits. So cool. We make sure everybody is taken care of.
So once again, if you're going to head to the zoo for the holidays and see zoo lights, you need to make sure your family's masked up. Make sure everybody has a mask or a face covering. And then you're saying that all tickets are available only online. There's no in-person ticket purchasing, correct?
Correct. And to that effect, when you purchase online, this year's ticket prices are going to vary depending on the day you come and when you purchase your ticket. So you want to buy your ticket early for the best price. So today, if you know you want to come the day after Christmas, I recommend getting online today and buying those tickets now, because they'll just get a little pricier as you get closer to the date. So everyone will need their ticket and purchase online.
Buy them early. Lauren Wappler, Manager of Public Relations at the Houston Zoo. We always enjoy having you guys on the show. It's fascinating, and I know it's certainly one of the highlights of our week.
Thank you. Yeah, we always love being here, and we hope everybody will come on out to the zoo for the holidays.
Thanks, Lauren. We're going to have the link to social media and all the posts and everything at the end of the show in our social media posts. So we'll show you people where they can get tickets for you guys. Thanks a lot, Lauren.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. All right, Brittany, so you got to see a dragon. I know you're a big fan of dragons, right?
I am. And fun fact, I've actually never been to zoo lights, ever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's something absolutely to check out. I haven't been there in a gazillion years, but I used to go to the zoo fairly often. Zoo lights was just incredible.
Yeah, no, I remember back in the day when I was a kid, the zoo would be open on Christmas Day, and you can get in for free. So we used to do that, my parents and I. That was always a fun experience. But yeah, zoo lights is something I've never had the opportunity to go see, just because sometimes parking is a little difficult.
Well, they used to do the free days at the zoo on certain times of the year. And once again, back when I worked in news, you'd know that's what you'd be covering that day, because there'd be massive traffic jams in the zoo area of everybody wanting to take advantage of the free day at the zoo. I don't think they can do that nowadays with the social distancing, but it's good to see they're open and at least allowing people there to social distance, stay safe, and see the animals.
Yeah, definitely. It's something maybe I'll be brave enough to venture out before they close for the season with zoo lights, but we'll see. But yeah, it's always, it looks amazing. I also love to hear what they are doing with the animals, of course, to keep them warm. And it was funny, as Lauren was talking about that, staying warm, Luna over here sitting on her perch looking out the window decided to crawl underneath my desk and curl up in her bed. So she's going to take a little nap.
Take a little nap. Yeah, why not? Sorry, we're putting her to sleep at this time. Hey, let's get on to some HCC news and announcements. Setting up for future success. That is something that is going to be happening through our financial aid department.
It is. So plan for a fruitful financial future by attending these information sessions from our HCC financial aid department. Experts will be there to help students learn how to pay for college, the different types of aid, because let's just face it, there are grants, scholarships, loans, subsidized, unsubsidized, that kind of thing, and how to complete the FAFSA application. And this is open to the public. It's going on Monday through Friday, beginning December 7th. So that is next week, all the way through the 11th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. sessions. Once again, this is open to the public. If you're interested in learning all about financial aid with HCC, check your emails, and also be sure to share this information by using the hashtag #WeAreHCC. You can also click that. That way you can see all the posts relating to this financial aid event.
So also, Brittany, HCC is having virtual coffee breaks. Grab a cup of coffee with co-workers and join Janet May, Chief Human Resources Officer, a great friend of the show. And she'll be continuing to chat with college representatives about adapting to this new normal, at least one we're living in right now. She's got an episode going on today at 11 a.m. That is today. And she's got Colleen Riley, Dean of Visual and Performing Arts Center of Excellence. And Dr. Riley, she was on the topic this week too. We're talking to her about the Fine Arts Department and how they're moving everything online. So join them today, and they are interactive. They'll answer some of your questions as well. Another thing that's happening, Brittany, drama. You love drama.
It's 2020.
It's 2020. Drama Practicum is happening.
Yes, fall 2020 drama majors perform monologues and scenes on the ups and downs of finding, keeping, and losing love during a less than normal year. Love in 2020, people. This is happening next Wednesday, December 9th from 7 to 8 p.m. It is free. We will be, for more information, you can email deborah.schultz@hccs.edu. We'll be sure to incorporate that information in this post after the show. And Deborah will actually be joining us Monday to tell us about that presentation. So probably a little sneak peek of love in 2020.
Yeah, and so Rec Sports, we're always giving them great plugs on this show because they do a lot for our students in the community. They are having a virtual Run Houston Sugarland. Who said you have to run in person to stay healthy? HCC Rec Sports has a 5K and a 10K virtual run coming up. It's Saturday, December the 15th. However, deadline to register is today, December the 3rd. We'll have the email address for that in the social media post for the show. And then they've got other things, Zumba, boot camp, all happening. And then Saturdays, they got NFL Pick'em at noon. So you can go to hccs.edu/recsports for more information. Okay, a lot of things, Brittany, are happening online, but we do have some face-to-face appointments available for financial aid.
Right. So earlier we talked about the financial aid information sessions to help people open to the community. Now, specifically for our students, if you do want to make an in-person appointment with financial aid, you can do so. Again, you have to make an appointment. No walk-ins are available at this time. Again, in-person appointments for financial aid are available. You can go online to book that appointment by going to hccs.edu/FINAID, FinAid, contact. And we'll be sure, once again, to put that information in the post after the show.
Yeah, speaking of online, we'll go through some other virtual things you need to know, students. Virtual open houses, the sessions have been extended. If you know someone who's going to be going to HCC, they need to attend one of the virtual open houses. For more information, you can go to hccs.edu/informationsessions. We also have an online toolkit for our students, which talks about everything from technology to textbooks to tutoring. That's available. We'll have the link in the social media post. And the student virtual lobby, it's been available from the summer. Those guys are phenomenal. They have extended hours. And from what I'm understanding, Brittany, I'm told they're going to have some extended hours over the holiday break because they want to make sure students get their questions answered. And you can visit them by going to our homepage and just click on the virtual lobby, or you can go directly to it at hccs.edu/virtual lobby. Also, Brittany, we've got transfer fairs for people who are interested in continuing their college career beyond HCC.
Definitely. And this is actually how I ended up going to my four-year university, U of H, Clear Lake, go Hawks. But unfortunately, we obviously are not at the campus. We cannot have these colleges come and visit and talk to us face to face, but we have come up with a solution for virtual college transfer fairs to be held. Now you can go to our website and check out the dates and times that Prairie View A&M, Texas A&M, all branches of U of H, and all branches of UT will be there. You can go to hccs.edu/transferfair to check out your future college.
I want to circle back and talk about continuing education because it's important, especially if you're looking to maybe make a little bit more money, get a certification, don't like the job you're at, you want to change careers. Continuing education is the place to check out. They've got a number of programs from accounting to welding. They've got them literally across the board. If you're interested in a certain career, this is a good way to take a class, see if you like it, and then get a certification. A lot of these certifications, some of them, Brittany, I think they take maybe 3 to 6 weeks, and you can go out and immediately get employment. They'll even help you find a job. So check out their schedules through continuing education at hccs.edu/CE. Another thing, Brittany, that we need to remind people, there's still a lot of uncertainty about what's happening in the spring. We can tell you classes will be held. We'll be having classes. Obviously, we're doing them. Most of them are online with some lab components in person. And right now, we're looking at that again in the spring. But you need to register early, especially if your class has an online or a in-person component.
Right. So I've actually received a lot of questions on social media about whether or not we are holding in-class classes for next semester. At this time, I can say that all options are available. However, if cases do increase in the city, we might have to pivot back to just 100% online, but we will be sure to communicate that information to our students, faculty, and staff at that time. And as Todd mentioned, spring classes will be happening. So be sure you secure your classes by going to hccs.edu/now in order to secure your spring 2021 semester.
That's right. Register now, where we would love to have you join us again in the spring. So that wraps up today's show. Been a fun show. We had the zoo on. That's always fun. And let me tell you a little bit about tomorrow. Brittany, I know we've got the Natalia Noland of HCC's Translation and let's try this again. Interpretation program. She'll be joining us to talk about an interesting program where we've done some work with them at HCCTV. Plus, it's Friday. What does that mean?
It's Friday, which means we will have our weekly visit from our resident poet, Dr. Jimmy Adams, and he will be sharing another piece of poetry with us. And I'm looking forward to seeing him as you know, he's our weekly Friday guest. I missed yesterday's weekly guest. That is Chief Cunningham, but I'm glad I'll be here for Friday.
Yeah, we talked about you.
I'm sure you did.
I told her, I said, you know, Brittany said it's power outage. I think it's just a me day.
You know, little from column A, little from column B. No, actually, I was having problems with my power, but
yeah, I figured you had a power outage. So
yeah,
the chief said he missed having you on the show.
Oh, well, you know what? I will probably be here next Monday, listen to me, next Wednesday, unless there's another power outage.
There you go. Well, we hope so. Well, thanks for being here today, Brittany, and hopefully you'll have power again tomorrow, and we'll make sure Frank is all powered up because he'll be joining us as well. Most importantly, we want you to join us again tomorrow, live 10 a.m. right here for Up to the Minute.